Okay, here it goes, my very first video. I'm terrified, but that's why I'm doing this, because I'm terrified. I'm gonna stop looking at myself because that's pretty vain. Let's see, so I'm Elayne. Hi. I am always behind the camera, never in front, but that's going to change. Not necessarily because I want to be in front of the camera, but just because I am all about living bigger. That is a theme that has been coming up in my life all year in 2015. And today is almost the end of November 2015. So going into December of next year, I am determined and pushing myself to live a much bigger life on a bigger scale, bigger dreams, bigger everything. And by bigger, really just going for it and not playing it small. That's really the thing that comes up for me. I don't know if it comes up for you, but playing it small is definitely something that I'm very comfortable doing. I have had a lot of success in my life, but I think I can go much bigger. In fact, I know I can go much bigger if I just push myself. So I'm here in Stone Mountain, Georgia, visiting my parents and my parents' dog, Sky, which you'll hear in the background. He likes to bark at birds and squirrels and whatever he sees. But I actually came here to visit my mom for her birthday, and I wanted to record her just telling some stories about her life. And I thought, you know what? I'm always at peace and very happy when I'm here, relaxed, as you can see. I mean, you might be able to hear a few cars going by, but it's nothing like when you're in Brooklyn, where I live, and it's cars and fire trucks and all kinds of craziness, motorcycles. You never know. Anything could go on. Here it's much more peaceful. You can hear birds in the background. You can see the backyard, all those things. So I said, you know what? Before I record my mom, I'm going to record myself and make this my first video that you may or may not see, depending on how it all turns out, because I am rambling a bit, but I'm just telling a bit of my story. So I am a journalist. Yeah, I would consider myself a journalist. I'm a journalist. I've worked in media for 20 years, all kinds of magazines, all kinds of websites, mainstream and niche publications, been on television, been on radio, done a little of this, a little of that. In 2012, I launched my own network called Chic Rebellion TV, the first and only internet TV network for women of color. I'm very passionate about women of color controlling their own narratives and sharing their stories. It's something that I've been really wanting to do as far as being an entrepreneur for a long time. And I've done other small businesses, but this one is one that I'm truly, truly passionate about. But I'll be honest with you, it's been tough because one, it's hard to convince people to invest in your vision. A lot of people have to see things first. So now the site has been up for 3 years, and the network has tons of great content on it, and we do series based on different aspects of women's lives and things that are really relevant to them. So people have been very great with the feedback and watching, and the audience is growing, but I still feel like I know that it could be much bigger. That's one of the areas that's really pushing me to push myself right now, is making my business bigger, and I think it is related to me personally playing it small, which is the reason I'm in front of the camera today. So one of the things that 52 of the things that I want to do is push myself to do some things every week for the next year. They could be quote unquote big things, they could be quote unquote small things, but they will be something that I am pushing myself to do, whether it's something that's on my to-do list, something that terrifies me, something that I'm afraid to talk about, something I'm afraid to experience, something I'm afraid to exceed, pushing myself past the fear and the anxiety and the perfectionism to make myself really do something outside of the box and just move forward in a big, concentrated, focused way, instead of, as I said, playing it small. So one of the things I want to do is read. I've been keeping a list because I'm a queen of lists. I've been keeping a list of things that I want to do, and I'm going to read some of them off from my 52 list just to hold myself, and hopefully you will hold me accountable to these. One of the things is record videos every week. Done. Number one, doing it right now. Record videos every week. All the things that I'll be doing, as I said, some might be small, but all will be worthy of my time. That's very important to me, how I spend my time. And the thing about living bigger, thinking, living, and being bigger. That's really what it is. Thinking, living, and being bigger. that theme has come up over and over again in all kinds of ways, whether it's conversation with friends, conversation with advisors, counselors, mentors. I did a fantastic workshop this past year called Momentum, and at every level, I highly recommend it, by the way, but at every level, bigger has come up as a theme for me. So that really is part of what all of this is about. And, I was talking about perfectionism. As much anxiety as there is about wanting things to be perfect, I finally come to the realization that there is the same amount of anxiety in waiting. So as much as you're saying, I'm going to wait until it's perfect because I'm anxious about when it actually, whatever it is, when it actually launches, it needs to be perfect. I find there's more anxiety, at least for me, in waiting. The waiting, I'm waiting for it to be perfect, I'm waiting for this to happen, I'm waiting for that. And that is just something that it's better to just go ahead and do whatever it is to the best of your ability, as opposed to just sitting and waiting and wallowing in misery, speak for myself, while you wait for something to be perfect before you make it happen. Instead of thinking that, which is something I learned with my business, things are iterative. It'll change and evolve as you go along. It'll continue to grow. It can't just, you have to plant the seed in order for it to grow. You can't say, I have to wait for everything to be perfect before I plant the seed. One of my favorite quotes actually is from the tennis great Arthur Ashe, and it is, a part of it is, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. It's something I repeat to friends. It's something I definitely say to myself. I have it up on my vision board because I'm very into vision boards. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Must do. So that is very much about doing and not about waiting. I think actually the full quote is, to achieve greatness, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. So in any case, that is something that I'm going to really live by in this next year, from this day moving forward for the next 52 weeks. And here are a few of the things that are on my list. The video, number 1, check. We did that, this first one this week. Number 2, I have a great second bedroom in my apartment in Brooklyn. I'm blessed to have that, which serves as an office, an official office. Not like a little tiny corner space, that's an office, an official office space. But right now, it's actually more of like a storage room because I have tons of stuff in there, and I just keep piling things in. I was selling clothes for a while, so there's tons of clothes in there. Actually, you know what it is? It's a representation of how life is right now. Just things piled up in a corner that I don't even want to think about. Papers I need to go through, stuff. But we're going to fix that. That's on the list this year. Actually, that's on the list before the end of this year. Appear on TV discussing Chic Rebellion. I've done some radio, I've done some interviews, I've done some other things, but I haven't done any television around Chic Rebellion. I really want to get the message out about what I'm doing, what the work is, what the team that works with me is doing. I have people that work with me that help create some of the content. And I think it's important to be more vocal about what it is that we're doing and not just wait for it to grow. People need to know about it, especially in this world today where so much we're fighting for each other's attention. Another thing is to start a podcast. A podcast is something I've been thinking about for a long time, but waiting for things to be perfect, but that's not going to happen. There's a B right there, so if I run, that'll be why. But start a podcast. That's something I really want to do and plan to do, so stay tuned for that. More to come. Let's see. Another thing is sing karaoke. The B is following me. Sing karaoke, which is all about fun. I'm going to do that. And that could be, who knows, maybe this weekend. Another thing is have a show I produced picked up on television. Oh, my dad's walking the dog, so you may see them in the background. Have a show I've produced picked up on television. That's something I'm actually working on with two things. One is a docuseries that I'm working on with a few other producers, and another is my own series that's based on a book that I wrote in 2008, and I plan to work on that as a series and pitch it to a bunch of people. And also to publish a book is another thing. Okay, I gotta stop. The bee is in my lap at this point. To publish a book. The bee is really bothering me. To publish a book. That's another thing that's on my list. So anyway, this is video number 1. A little weird, all over the place, talking about everything that's going on in the background, but it's here in Georgia, one of my favorite places, at my parents' house, out in the backyard, and I did it. It's my first video. I'm really excited about it. And I'll be more, actually I'm not going to say I'll be more anything. I'm just going to be myself and talk. and see and post this on Elayne Fluker on my YouTube channel and see what happens, where we go from here. But hopefully you'll live bigger, think bigger, live bigger, be bigger, everything bigger, and not get stung by bees in the process. Okay, bye.